Hi, my name is Sam. I'm the owner of Marine Co., a handmade arts and crafts business shop, and this is my office. Welcome to my office and welcome to my channel. So today I'm making some heart hair clips, and I wanted to make some heart hair clips as a new addition to my accessories. Plus I have a Valentine's Day market coming up next Saturday on Valentine's Day. Super excited to do my first market of the year. I've gotten some new products. I've made them really fancy looking and just better, more details, paid attention to them. So let's show you what I'm working on right now. Alright, so I've got my 4 pieces here and I'm doing a heart with a bow. So we'll have the heart and we'll have this, and then these will come in to the side and be adhered right there, and then I'll put it on top like so and then wrap the band around it. But that's how the general idea of what these would look like. And then I want to make just classic heart ones. And I just want to show, this is my first prototype. I cut out a cardstock. The heart was too small, so I increased it a bit, and then that's the final outcome, which I like the scale size because you can still see that it's got the heart as well as the bow. I might try to bring the backs out more so that the white doesn't show as much, but other than that, this is good to go. Okay, so I finished the hair clips. So we've got just the traditional heart hair clip, and they all have alligator clips on the back. And then I've got the bow and heart, and then I've just got the bow, which also just has a clear clip on the side. Okay, so I made them $3 each, and then I did the deals where it's like 2 for $5, or I did 2 for $5, and then 4 for $10. So it's like $1 off, then $2 off the more you get. And we've got our card here. Going to grab our X-Acto knife. I'm going to make the little slit down the middle for the opening of the alligator claw, and then we'll be putting that through and then clipping there so it looks like that. And then for the finishing touch, for securing the back, and also just so that they have the item and my Instagram and my other socials. And then there we go. So we've got this as the back and then that as the front. Alright, so the last sheet that I've got, I have to cut out 2 of these guys out of this, and then I'll be done. Look at these stacks. So we've got 2 hearts. One will be a plain heart, and one will be a heart with a bow, and then one will just be the bow. So we've got those 2 set up and glue, which I will do on another day, because doing all this took a bit out of me. The Cricut was not working a lot, and like it totally skipped 2 cuts, and it was just giving me some problems and kept pulling up this. Even though I'm using the strong mat, it would still push this. So we're gonna cut out the last 2 that we need, and then that'll be it for tonight. I have this stack of heart hairpin shapes, hair clips to do. Half of them will be with a bow, and the other half will be without the bow. And then we have bows to make as well. So that's today's. Good morning! It is Sunday and we've got less than a week till the Love at First Lasso Valentine's Day market, and I'm just gonna try to finish up these bows today and then continue working on digital art. It is 7:16 in the evening and I'm still working on these bows just now. After a nap though, so I took a break. But I only have a little bit left and then I'll be done with them. Yay! But then I have to put the tags and the stickers on them, and then I've got my sewing pile, and then I still have my totes over there that I would like to sew along with my zipper pouches that are in there as well. So let's keep going. Whee! Okay, so it is 9 o'clock at night. I just spent the past 2 hours doing that, I believe. I tagged them and I labeled them and then I put them in containers. Now the tricky part is figuring out how I'm going to display all my new products. I've made so much new products since my last market. I've gotten new display items and I'm just really excited to mess with it and reorganize and test it all out on my first market this Saturday. I want to try to get my sewing piles done. I've got 3 sewing sections: tote bags, hair twist ties, and zipper pouches. And then I'll be caught up on everything that I want to do, and then I can start my new projects with my new fabric. Like, I've got my Wonder Woman fabric that I want to, and Harry Potter fabric I want to take and do all my sewing projects that I do with and display them as a collection and show what I can do with a piece of fabric and what I can turn it into. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Good morning, good morning. It is Monday. We have less than a week till our first market, and I'm going to continue working on my sewing pile now. So I've got these I need to turn inside out, and then I've got this pile I need to tie up and wrap with the hair ties, and then I've got this pile to sew. So let's get started. even though I'm bulk prepping, I feel like I'm mass producing, but I'm not. Because factories produce thousands an hour. And I'm just doing a couple an hour. So that's something that I struggle with, anxiety-wise, as well as my birthday. So I had to change my battery in my camera. So we're going back to it. Today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Just got back from work, settled in for the night. I'm opening up my Cricut. We're going to be making some Indiana decals for, you can see on my screen here, they say shop small, weeded out of them. And those are going to be done in the Valentine's Day bags for the first 20 customers that come into the market. I'm collaborating with the market vendor, the market organizers, and we are doing the first 20 bags, and some of us are putting little goodies inside. So I'm going to put in a shop small Indiana decal because it is in Lafayette, Indiana is the market on Saturday, Valentine's Day, which will be exciting because it's my first market of the year, and my fiance will also be joining me, which is good because some of the totes are heavy after I put in a lot of my product. I'm thinking about expanding to a second table here soon, a 6-foot table, and I'll be doing like a T-shape or an L-shape, so I'm really excited about that kind of expansion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and load up the Cricut with the vinyl and then just get to cutting and weeding. So I've loaded in the vinyl. We were doing white, and then I'm using my big mat and just gonna let that go. And we're gonna finish up this pile, and then we're gonna get the sewing, and then I've got this whole thing to flip inside out, and then I've got these piles to tie onto the hair ties, and then I've got the tag to add on to them at the end, and then it'll look like this eventually at the end.